Assalamu alaikum. My name is Rapper. We're still reading the Quran. Number 89. And O my people, let not your dissension from me cause you to be struck by that similar to what struck the people of Noah, or the people of Hud, or the people of Salih, and the people of Lot are not far from you, far away. 90. And ask forgiveness of your Lord, and then repent to him. Indeed, my Lord is merciful and affectionate. Number 91. They said, O Shu'ab, we do not understand much of what you say, and indeed we consider you among us as weak. And if not your family, we would have stoned you to death, and you are not to us one respected. Number 92. And said, O my people, it is my family who respected for power by you than Allah, but you put him behind your backs in neglect. Indeed, my Lord is encompassing of what you do. 93. And O my people, work according to your position. Indeed, I am working. You are going to know to whom will come a punishment that will disgrace him and who is a liar. So watch. Indeed, I am with you as a watcher, awaiting the outcome. 94. And when our command came, we saved Shu'ab and those who believed with him by mercy from us. And the shriek seized those who had wronged, and they became within their homes corpses fallen prone. 95. As if they had never prospered therein, then away with the Madian, as Thamud was taken away. 96. And we did certainly send Moses with our signs and a clear authority. 97. To Pharaoh and his establishment, but they followed the command of Pharaoh, and the command of Pharaoh was not at all discerning. 98. He will precede his people on the day of resurrection and lead them into the fire, and wretched is the place to which they are led. Footnotes, i.e. evidences from Allah. 99. And they were followed in this world with a curse, and on the day of resurrection, and wretched is the gift which is given. 100. That is from the news of the cities which relate to you. Of them some are still standing, and some are as a harvest mowed down. 101. And we did not wrong them, but they wronged themselves, and they were not availed at all by their gods, which they invoked other than Allah, when there came the command of your Lord. And they did not increase them in other than ruin. 102. And thus is the seizure of your Lord when he seizes the cities while they committing wrong. Indeed, his seizure is painful and severe. 103. Indeed, and that is a sign for those who fear the punishment of the hereafter. That is the day for which the people will be collected, and that is the day which will be witnessed. 104. And we do not delay it except for a limited term. 105. The day it comes, no soul will speak except by his permission, and among them will be the wretched and the prosperous. 106. And for those who were destined to be wretched, they will be in the fire. For them therein is a violent exhaling and inhaling. 107. They will be abiding therein as long as the heavens and the earth endure, except for what your Lord should will. Indeed, your Lord is an effector of what he intends. 108. And as for those who were destined to be prosperous, they will be in paradise, abiding therein as long as the heavens and the earth endure, except what your Lord should will, a bestowal uninterrupted. 109. So do not be in doubt, O Muhammad, as to what those polytheists are worshiping. They worship not except as footnotes, i.e. the curse which follows them in both worlds. Their structures have been completely destroyed, i.e. their size and size resembling the bray of a donkey. Their fathers worshipped before, and indeed we will give them their share undiminished. 110. And we had certainly given Moses the scripture, but it came under disagreement. And if not for a world that proceeded from your Lord, it would have been judged between them. And indeed they are concerning it, i.e. the Quran, in disquieting doubt. 111. And indeed each of the believers and disbelievers, your Lord will fully compensate for their deeds. Indeed, he is aware of what they do. 112. So remain on the right course as you have been commanded, you and those who have turned back with you to Allah, and do not transgress. Indeed, he is seeing on what you do. 113. And do not incline toward those who do wrong, lest you be touched by the fire, and you would not have other than Allah any protectors, then you would not be helped. 114. And establish prayer at the two ends of the day and at the approach of the night. Indeed, good deeds do away with misdeeds. That is the reminder of those who remember. 115. And be patient, for indeed Allah does not allow to be lost the reward of those who do good. 116. So why were there not among the generations before you those of enduring discrimination, forbidding corruption on earth, except a few of those we saved from among them? But those who wrong pursued the luxury, what luxury they were given therein, and they were criminals. 117. And your Lord would not have destroyed the cities unjustly, while the people were reformers. 118. And if your Lord had willed, he could have made mankind one community, but they will not cease to differ. See footnotes to 10:19, meaning if only they had been. 119. Except whom your Lord has given mercy, and for that he created them. But the word of your Lord is to be fulfilled, that I will surely fill hell with jinn and men altogether. 120. And each story we relate to you from the news of the messengers, that is by which we make firm your heart. And there has come to you in this truth an instruction and a reminder for the believers. 121. And say to those who do not believe, work according to your position. Indeed, we are working. 122. And wait. Indeed, we are waiting. 123. And to Allah belong the unseen aspects of the heavens and the earth, and to him will be returned the matter of all of it. So worship him and rely upon him, and your Lord is not unaware of what you do. We've made it to another surah. We're at Surah Yusuf. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Number 1, Alif Lam Ra. These are the verses of the clear book. Number 2, indeed we have sent down as an Arabic Quran that you might understand. 3, we relate to you, O Muhammad, the best of stories in what we have revealed to you of this Quran, although you were before it among the unaware. 4, of these stories mentioned when Joseph said to his father, O my father, indeed I have seen in a dream 11 stars and the sun and the moon. I saw them prostrated to me. Number 5, he said, O my son, do not relate your vision to your brothers, or they will contrive against you a plan. Indeed, Satan to man is a manifest enemy. Number 6, and thus will your Lord choose you and teach you the interpretation of narratives, i.e. events or dreams, and complete his favor upon you and upon the family of Jacob, as he completed it upon your fathers before Abraham and Isaac. Indeed, your Lord is knowing and wise. 7, certainly were the and Joseph and his brother signs for those who ask, such as 1:8. When they said Joseph and his brother are more beloved to our father than we, while we are a clan, indeed our father is in clear error. 9, kill Joseph or cast him out to another land. The countenance, i.e. attention, or of your father will then be only for you, and you will be after the righteous people. Footnotes. Yusuf, the prophet Joseph. See footnote to 2:1, i.e. revealed in the Arabic language, the prophet Jacob, upon whom be peace. Benjamin, who was born of the same mother as Joseph, i.e. you can repent thereafter. Number 10, said as a speaker among them, do not kill Joseph, but throw him into the bottom of the well. Some travelers will pick him up if you would do something. Number 11, they said, O our father, why do you not entrust us with Joseph? Why indeed we are to him sincere counselors. Number 12, and indeed with us tomorrow that he may eat and play, and indeed we will give his guardians. 13, Jacob said, indeed it saddens me that you should take him, and I fear that a wolf would eat him while you are of him unaware. 14, they said, if a wolf should eat him while we are a strong clan, indeed we would then be losers. Number 15, so when they took him out and agreed to put him into the bottom of the well, we inspired to him, you will surely inform them someday about their affair of theirs while they do not perceive your identity. 16, and they came to their father at night weeping. 17, they said, our father, indeed we went racing each other and left Joseph with our possessions, and a wolf ate him, but you would not believe us even if they were truthful. 18, and they brought upon his shirt false blood. Jacob said, rather your souls have enticed you to something, so patience is most fitting, and Allah is the one sought for help against that which you describe. 19, and there came a company of travelers. Then they sent their water drawer, and he let down a bucket. He said, good news, here is a boy. And they concealed him, taking him as merchandise, and Allah knowing of what they did. Footnotes. The conclusion of this sentence is estimated to be they tormented him. They had stained Joseph's shirt with blood of a lamb, but had forgotten to tear it, thereby arousing their father's suspicion, to be sold as a slave. Number 20, and they sold him for a reduced price, a few dirhams, and they were concerning him those content with little. 21, and the one from Egypt who bought him said to his wife, make him residence comfortable. Perhaps he will benefit us, or we will adopt him as a son. And thus we established Joseph in the land that we might teach him the interpretation of events, i.e. dreams. And Allah is predominant over his affair, but most of the people do not know. 22, and when he, i.e. Joseph, reached maturity, he gave him judgment and knowledge, and thus we reward the doers of good. 23, and she in whose house he was sought to seduce him. She closed the doors and said, come you. He said, I seek the refuge of Allah. Indeed, he is my master, who has made good my residence. Indeed, wrongdoers will not succeed. 24, and she certainly determined to seduce him, and he would have inclined to her had he not seen the proof, i.e. sign of his Lord. And thus it was that we should avert from him evil and immorality. Indeed, he was of our chosen servants. 25, and they both raced to the door, and she tore a shirt from his back, and they found her husband at the door. She said, what is the recompense of one who intended evil for your wife, but that he be in prison or painful punishment? 26, Joseph said, it was she who sought to seduce me. And a witness from her family testified, if his shirt is torn from the front, then she has told the truth, and he is of the liars. 27, but if his shirt is torn from the back, then she has lied, and he is of the truthful. 28, so when he, i.e. her husband, saw his shirt from the back, he said, indeed it is of your, i.e. women's plan. Indeed your plan is great, i.e. vehement. I don't know how you pronounce that, but footnotes. The minister in charge of supplies, whose title was Al-Aziz, her husband Al-Aziz. 29, Joseph ignored this, and my wife asked for forgiveness for your sin. Indeed, you were of the sinful. 30, and women in the city said, the wife of Al-Aziz is seeking to seduce her slave boy. He has impassioned her with love. Indeed, we see her to be in clear error. 31, so when she heard of their scheming, she sent for them, prepared for them a banquet, and gave each one of them a knife, and said to Joseph, come out before them. And when they saw him, they greatly admired him, and cut their hands, and said, prayer freak is Allah. This is not a man, this is none but a noble angel. 32, she said, that is the one about whom you blame me, and I certainly sought to seduce him, but he firmly refused. And if he will not do what I order him, he will surely be in prison, and he will be of the debased. 33, he said, my Lord, prison is more to my liking than that to which you invite me. And if you do not avert me from their plan, I might incline toward them and thus be of the ignorant. 34, so his Lord responded to him and averted from him their plan. Indeed, he is of the hearing and the knowing. 35, then it appeared to them after they had seen the signs that he, i.e. Al-Aziz, should surely imprison him for a time. 36, and there entered the prison with him 2 young men. One of them said, indeed, I have seen myself in a dream pressing wine. The other said, indeed, I have seen myself carrying upon my head some bread from which the birds were eating. Inform us of its interpretation. Indeed, we see to be of those who do good. Footnotes, i.e. conceal it and act as if it had not taken place. So distracted were they at the sight of him in his ability to create such beauty, proofs of his innocence, until the scandal be forgotten. 37, he said, you will not receive food that is provided to you, except that I will inform you of its interpretation before it comes to you. That is from what my Lord has taught me. And indeed, I have left the religion of a people who do not believe in Allah, and they in the hereafter are disbelievers. 38, and I have followed the religion of my fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And it was not for us to associate anything with Allah. That is from the favor of Allah upon us and upon the people, but most of the people are not grateful. 39, O my 2 companions of prison are separate lords, better of Allah, the one, the prevailing. 40, you worship not besides him except mere names you have named them. You and your fathers, for which Allah has sent down no evidence. Legislation is not but for Allah. He has commanded you worship not except him. That is correct religion, but most of the people do not know. 41. Oh, two companions of prison, as far as one of you, he will give drinks to his master or wine, but as for the other, he will be crucified, and the birds will eat from his head. The matter has been decreed about which you both inquire. 42. And he said to the one whom he knew would go free, mention me before your master. But Satan made him forget to mention to his master, and he, i.e. Joseph, remained in prison several years. 43. And subsequently the king said, indeed, I have seen in a dream 7 fat cows being eaten by 7 that were lean, and 7 green spikes of grain, and others that were dry. O eminent ones, explain to me my vision, if you should interpret visions. 44. They said, it is but a mixture of false dreams, and we are not learned in the interpretation of dreams. Footnotes. The false objects of worship which you have called gods. 45. But the one who was freed and remembered after a time said, I will inform you of its interpretations, so send me forth. 46. He said, Joseph, O man of truth, explain to us about 7 fat cows eaten by 7 that were lean, and 7 green spikes of grain, and others that were dry, that I may return to the people, i.e. the king and his court. Perhaps they will know about you. Joseph said, you will plant for 7 years consecutively, and what you harvest leave in its spikes, except a little from which you will eat. 48. Then will come after that 7 difficult years, which will consume what you have advanced, i.e. save for them, except a little from what you will store. 49. Then will come after that a year in which the people will be given rain, in which they will press olives and grapes. 50. And the king said, bring him to me. But when the messenger came to him, Joseph said, return to your master and ask him what is in the case of the women who cut their hands. Indeed, my lord is knowing of their plan. 51. Said the king unto the women, what was your condition when you sought to seduce Joseph? They said, perfect is Allah. We know about him no evil. The wife of Al-Aziz said, now the truth has become evident. It was I who sought to seduce him, and indeed he is of the truthful. 52. That is so he, i.e. Al-Aziz, will know that I did not betray him in his absence, and that Allah does not guide the plan of the betrayers. 53. And I do not acquit myself. Indeed, the soul is persistent enjoiner of evil, except those upon which my Lord has mercy. Indeed, my Lord is forgiving and merciful. Footnotes. In his ability to create such purity of character, although Ibn Kathir attributes the words of verses 52 to 53 to the wife of Al-Aziz, others have concluded that they were spoken by Joseph, thereby justifying his request for an inquiry and acknowledging Allah's mercy to him. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.